Sleep is one of the best things that life has to offer. There's nothing better than accomplishing the tasks of a day, only to snuggle up in your sheets, all warm and happy, and choose your destination for the next 8 hours. Admittedly, I spent my cognitive years up through age 20 neglecting my sleep. When I was tiny, I would stay up on school nights to finish books and sneakily start another one after having tiptoed to the family bookshelf in the pitch dark. In my teen years, the smartphone became a thing and I spent hours upon hours on Pinterest, deep diving into random topics on Wikipedia and texting, of course. Then came college. I would stay up by watching endless hours of streaming content, rewatching my comfort show Parks and Rec, giving up hours to watching YouTube, and probably still hanging out on Pinterest after an exhausting day of working and being on campus. My reasoning was that I deserved time to decompress after such a long day, and I wasn't wrong, but that maybe wasn't the best way to actually decompress. Then I was diagnosed with clinical depression and started taking immediate steps to help myself out. I realized that my inner dialogue would only get more and more bleak the longer I stayed up, and I realized that in the morning, the thoughts that I had been dwelling on the night before seemed minuscule, to a point that I would wonder why I even felt what I had been feeling the night before. Sleep is key. So I started sleeping, and this time I realized that my breathing and allergies were more manageable when I slept. For context, I've always had terrible asthma and allergies. I noticed the general fatigue I would fight through every day was nowhere near as strong as before. I noticed my tendinitis would hurt less when I was well rested and that my skin was less prone to blemishes. I realized that I had been neglecting myself and it sort of just became a priority from there, to the point that I would miss a morning class if I got home late from a performance day, or that I would give up finishing a homework assignment to get to bed and allow for my 9 to 10 hours of sleep. And no, at the time this was not me oversleeping. It's been 5 years and I'm pretty good at sleeping, though these days I need no more than 9 hours of sleep. Because I'm aging. It's time. Here are 5 things that might make an easy night of sleep possible for you. Watch your lighting. Bright fluorescents, glaring phone screens, visually loud environments, the works. I like to start to tone all of these down by around 7 p.m. I try to be in bed by 9 to 10 so I can actually be well into my sleep by 10:30. My skincare, teeth brushing, setting up my animal for sleep, and last minute before bed tidying is done in dim, warm light. As for my phone, I try to mitigate use at least 2 hours before bed, but if I need to use it, it's at the lowest brightness with a warm light or a nightlight setting. Showering at night. Personally, I don't understand people who shower in the morning and like to fall asleep dirty. That's all I have to say about that. But in all seriousness, I've always just had terrible allergies and have always just showered at night. It wasn't until recently that I learned that people with allergies do better to shower at night and wash off particles gathered through the day that might contribute to irritating your allergies even more, thus affecting the quality of your sleep. I've also just noticed I sleep better when I'm clean. I first realized this when I was about 6 years old and we went to Mexico. We drove 27 hours from Southern California to the depths of central swampy Mexico, and I went straight to bed. But then my mom woke me up and said, "Mija, go shower." And I said no, and she was like, "Go do it, you'll feel better." So I went to go shower, and I did feel better. I felt clean, I felt more relaxed, and I've just kind of stuck to the habit ever since. Sleepy tea. Since winter likes to dim out our natural light about 5 hours early, I tend to use sleepy tea about 1 hour before I'm in bed if I'm not quite feeling tired. This is also just to make sure I can fall asleep and stay asleep on a chemical level. I also just really enjoy the routine of sipping on near scalding hot tea because it makes me feel warm and happy. I'm a fan of Trader Joe's sleepy tea. I've also used other stuff like valerian tea in the past, but I've noticed that valerian itself can just feel a little bit too strong in my stomach. Back in college, I also used melatonin, but I realized that though it would knock me out, it wouldn't necessarily give me restful sleep, and I would just feel groggy the morning after, thus perpetuating this state of fatigue, not helping anyone. Caffeine. It has to be discussed, it cannot be avoided. For as much as we might love our coffee, yerba mate teas, matchas, Red Bulls, or whatever your choice of poison is. I've rarely met anyone who can down one of these late into the afternoon and still be in bed by 10 p.m. My personal cutoff for caffeine is around 1 p.m. and on hectic mornings where I don't have the chance to indulge in an Americano or a simple pour over, I take the L for the coffee in favor for the promise of a good night of sleep. Working out. Working out, exercising, being sweaty. Using your brain is a good thing. Accomplishing everyday errands, tasks, projects, reading a book, or even just socializing are all great ways to tire yourself out. But nothing compares to the benefits of a workout. And mind you, even on days where you are not working out, let's say we skip a day, you're still gonna feel the effects that you've put in through all of those previous days. It's not just I didn't work out today, now I can't sleep. It's definitely worth the investment so you can have those days off and not sacrifice the quality of your sleep. Even on my laziest of days, assuming it's not a rest day, I will push on to the gym telling myself I'll be home within the hour. But usually by the time I'm into a workout and actually enjoying myself, I'll give myself more time there and come home feeling mentally rejuvenated and ready to decompress before bed. For context, I'm a night workout person. But even if you do work out in the morning, it's no different from working out at night from a sleep perspective. Everyone's different though. For some people, the hormones that you produce while working out affect your ability to fall asleep within a couple of hours. In the case that you don't work out, even just walking 2 miles, listen to a podcast, or call a sibling to pass the time, or following a guided stretching video will offer way more than you would expect. Sometimes I might even just rely on a meditation to give me that sense of mental and physical rejuvenation. Find what works for you. Sleep is simultaneously easy and difficult to achieve. Do the opposite of these, and some of you might just find yourselves with insomnia. I have been interviewing for jobs these past couple of months, and it's the kind of thing that keeps my mind racing through timelines, through possibilities, through other things that just make it difficult to knock out, despite my sleepy routines. As of late, my solution is to read in bed, on my phone, with the aforementioned nightlight settings. I've been reading a PDF of Sleepy Hollow lately, and typically I can only get through about 3 paragraphs before I start fighting my eyelids from closing, so I'll call it quits and knock out right away. It works. I'm hoping this little video has offered some insights that will help with creating your own sleepy routines. Also, in the case that you are fighting chronic pain or anything that just makes it difficult for your body to relax, or if you have kids at home, loud roommates, a loud apartment, and so on, I sympathize with you, and I realize this may not have been helpful for you. I hope the biggest thing you take from this is the idea of a routine. A routine is what allows your body to catch up to what you are trying to achieve in that moment. Like muscle memory, tricking your body into cooperating for a night of much needed sleep.